We're getting ready and we're going to start with showing a little bit of what we have here in the exhibit today. Welcome, welcome. So we have in this corner here a clearing grid. A clearing grid can be used for any clearing, both inner and outer. And so before we start the official exhibit, we want to just go over the grids. These are crystal skull and crystal grids, specifically configured with different functionalities. So the functionality on this one is for clearing. This one came through in December of 2014, and this one's still utilized in conjunct with all other grids. And we will go over all the grids today. The next grid we have to go over is on this side. And here we have the seeding grid. The seeding grid is to set up and plant intentions. To set your intentions, working with the north skull 4 times, the south skull 4 times, the west skull 4 times, and then the east skull to expedite your intention. So this came through in January of 2015. The next grids that came through are the sprouting grids, and the sprouting grids are the energies that support the intentions, kind of like watering the seeds. So we're watering the seeds with the sprouting grid, watering our intentions, watering our desires, nurturing them, honoring them, seeing them in fruition. The way this grid works is there are 25 quartz crystal skulls. The 25 of them are configured either clockwise or counterclockwise. In today's exhibit, we have the counterclockwise, and on the other side, we have the clockwise. These are 25 quartz crystal skulls with 25 Lemurian seed quartz. They're set up one by one with an intention. So the way they work is setting that intention in each one of them and in each Lemurian seed quartz, all the way around until it's complete. So we just want to scan now and show you the other sprouting grid, which is the sprouting grid that is clockwise. And it's set up here at the show today. And we're going to be working with these grids, working with all of the manifestation energies for 2015. In the center of these grids, we have this configuration. This configuration is specific for anchoring the frequencies, supporting the frequencies of the new paradigm and this new dimensional timeline that we're working with. So this is comprised of the citrine, the clear quartz, the smoky quartz, and it's configured in a very specific way. So we call this our Atlantean configuration. And then we move into the next grid. This is the new configuration for March. This is the blooming grid. The blooming grid, it's the beginning. It's when everything is fresh and everything is starting to sprout, just like in the springtime. So our intentions, our watered seeds for the sprouting grids, then they move into the next part and the next piece, which is then the blooming grid. The blooming grid is configured today in a mass scale. By March 8th, we will be showcasing this on a smaller scale. So on today being March 1st, it's on the grander scale. So the blooming grid. Now we're going to move into the next grid, which is on the other side. On display here today, the exhibit. This is the Tree of Life grid. The Tree of Life grid is to work with our DNA. to transition, to alchemize, to convert our DNA into the crystalline DNA. So this grid is very specific for the alchemy that will be happening here today. The Tree of Life grid, this is the first time it's been configured, first time it's been on display, as well as the grid, that's the blooming grid that we just showed. So moving to the next grid. The next grid. This is the butterfly grid. The butterfly grid, it's called the butterfly because it changes our DNA in the same way the caterpillar completely changes DNA when it moves into the butterfly. So the butterfly grid is specifically the configuration to shift our DNA from the carbon-based matrix to the crystalline matrix. So this is the primary grid, this is the main grid, and this is the grid that we'll be working with. So we have everything on display today.